Hi everybody, I was just in the middle of putting together all of the emails for the upcoming Self-Care Countdown Election Edition, which I am very excited about. Check my post on it in my Instagram feed or the link in my bio for more information on it. And I'll try to remember at the end of this video to just mention a couple more details for anyone who's interested. But I wanted to make a video for today to just kind of kick things off a day early with a self-care tip and exercise for down-regulating the nervous system. So if you're feeling really stressed, anxious, on edge this week especially, but anytime you can use this exercise to kind of reset your nervous system and calm down and come out of like fight or flight mode and back into a more functional mode of brain activity. And I'll also be popping into my Instagram stories a lot this week, so keep an eye on those. That's where I'll be going to share kind of like extra tips or add-ons to the things that I'm emailing about. And also I'll be doing a Q&A on Thursday. So check there on Wednesday for the Q&A box to put in questions or show up live or send me a DM if you have any questions about like self-care around nutrition, movement, mindset, all of that. But getting back to today, today's tip and today's exercise is the basic exercise, which was developed by Stanley Rosenberg. I highly recommend checking out his work, and you can also Google or search engine, generic search engine, the basic exercise Stanley Rosenberg and find some more information on it and also other videos of people teaching it. I'm going to kind of go through it maybe a little bit quickly. So if you want more of a guided in time video, there are some that I have seen on the interwebs. But essentially we're going to be using eye movement to stimulate the vagal nerves at kind of the base of your skull, the base of your brain, and those are really a big part of regulating your nervous system and stress responses and things like that. So how we're going to do that is by putting our hands behind our heads to kind of stabilize our head. You can also do this lying down, and I definitely recommend that if it's your first time doing it. It can be great to start doing it lying down and just staring at the ceiling. So hands kind of cupping the back of the head. And actually, before we start, if you want to do a little self-check-in, you can just look left to right and kind of notice your neck restriction in that motion, and you might notice a difference after we do this exercise. And I think my heater just kicked on, so apologies if the sound gets a little blurred. I'll try to speak a little bit louder if it gets loud. So hands behind the head and keeping the head mobile. That's not the word I'm looking for. Keeping the head immobile. So just pointed like straight forward. We're gonna just move our eyes without moving the head along with it. Also any exercise where you're kind of getting your head into a neutral position is also gonna help kind of get flow in this area. So just like tucking your chin a little bit and shifting your neck back, doing a little head ramp is already starting to help with this process. So once we're in this kind of neutral head position, you're just going to look to your right with your eyes and find a point of focus that is far enough over that you are definitely like looking all the way to the right, but not so far that you're really having to like strain. Just choose a comfortable distance and try to kind of relax and just focus on that area. And you just hang out here, staring at your spot for about 30 seconds or a minute, or as long as it takes for you to get a signal that your nervous system is relaxing. So the signals that you would be looking for are a yawn or a sigh or even swallowing. And try not to focus all of your attention on like waiting for something to happen because then probably it's not going to, because you're going to be keeping yourself in a state of kind of over alertness. So just try to focus on relaxing a little bit and just staring at your spot. For me, it's usually a sigh. Usually I'll just like, even sometimes just a kind of slightly deeper breath than usual. And then once you get that cue, you can bring your eyes back to the front and then over to the left side, repeating the same process. Making sure that as your eyes go to the left, your head isn't moving with it. So your head is staying totally still, just your eyes are moving. Choosing a spot that is as far to the left as you can go without having to strain. And just letting your mind focus on that spot and not necessarily focusing on what's happening in the body, just letting the body be for a moment. And again, you're just waiting as long as it takes, but usually about 30 to 60 seconds for that sigh or yawn or swallow. It's going to let you know that something is releasing. And then you can bring your eyes back to the center and drop your arms down. And if you want to, if you did the check-in with your head earlier, you can go ahead and do another assessment and see if anything feels different. I actually wasn't really expecting, even though I was telling you to do it, I wasn't really expecting my neck to feel that different. I've been having a lot of neck tension and discomfort, and actually it does feel a lot better. It's just another good reason for me to come in and do these exercises with you is because I always need them myself. So that's your kind of movement, support for the nervous system, de-stressing, down-regulating exercise for today.